Welcome to Financials with Ahau. It's great to have you back with us today. We are continuing with the conversation on savings, and today we're going to talk about a construction fund. Now, the word construction makes us remember, for those who grew up in the cartoon era, Bob the Builder, just revolving around building. And many times when we talk about construction today, it's around a home. So of course, we know that there's the option of buying a ready-made home, and there's the option of buying land and then later developing that land on your own. Allows you to customize, and many research and people have said that it is cheaper. And of course, a better application of your taste. So let's think around that. First thing to do with construction is it's important to understand the size of what you want to construct. And if you know nothing about construction, you're better off finding a construction firm that you can use to find average prices of things and average time periods. Why is this important? If you go it alone, it's the old adage, don't go into something you don't understand, you will get burnt. So it's best to work with a professional. It may incur a cost or it may not, but part of the reason you're preparing is so that you know what costs to prepare for, even if it's consulting with a firm, so you can know how much you need to put aside for a construction fund. The question is then when? As soon as you make the decision on how you want to own a home, then you need to begin to think in that direction. One thing I've been learning is many times we save, but we save very abstractly. And that's where you see we're really going into details in what precisely are we saving for, so that then there's an end goal and there's an end amount that we are working towards. Now with this one, we can't necessarily say we put a particular percentage towards that before we determine the cost. So it's important to decide, again, where are we building? The further out of maybe a town that we build, the higher the cost of things like transporting materials, because we may have to maybe import or bring them into the locality. And knowing what it is in Kenya today or in another country where you may be, many people tend to construct in their rural home, which would ideally be their retirement home. Not many people would ideally go for constructing in a city. So bearing that in mind is to look at each cost, breaking it down. 1, I need what size of home? 2, what kind of compound will that entail? Or what is the size of the land? Because then there's fencing, then there's maybe putting up other structures outside. Now construction is divided first into the size of the home. So we could say, I just want a room with a bathroom and a toilet inside and a small kitchen area to start off. So finding out what's the cost of that and working towards that. Or maybe I want a 1-bedroom, or maybe I want 2 bedrooms. So that's going to be extremely important. Or maybe I want a mansion and I want a couple. Then I want a guest wing and I want a place for the dogs. I want a place for the cows. All of that is going to be extremely, extremely necessary for you to determine how much you're putting aside. Where would you put a construction fund? Based on the size that you're going to build, it would determine how much you need to put aside and how long that would take. Considering that this is money that you may want to use progressively, you could take 2 approaches: save for a long period of time and get to the full amount and go full cost to the construction, or save periodically, having divided the cost. So maybe what is the cost of laying a foundation? So save first for laying a foundation. Then as you lay the foundation, you're saving the cost for doing the next level. What is the cost for doing windows? What is the cost for doing doors? The cost for doing interior finishings? What is the cost for doing wiring? What is the cost for doing decor? What is the cost for doing tiles, depending on how you want to finish the home? So you could take either approach. Another very important thing is, with this, you're going to need an account that enables you to keep a lump sum and earn something. It may be a bank account, it may be a SACCO account, but one thing that I'm encouraging you in this journey is find out what areas can I put money and be able to get something little, even as it waits for the task that I wanted to do. Now we're going to build up on that later, but right now, this is the basis or the basic information I'd like to share as you think through raising funds for construction. It's been great speaking to you. Looking forward to our next conversation. It's a how.